Brittany woke to the squeal of her two young daughters arguing outside her bedroom door, and this was strange because she had no memory of ever being pregnant, let alone giving birth, let alone twice. She rolled onto her stomach. She felt helpless and confused, but somehow gathered the strength to climb out of bed, walk down the hall. She unthinkingly caressed a small pair of nearly identical heads along the way, and shut herself in the bathroom. When she looked in the mirror, she realized the terrible extent of her transformation. Her wings were gone. This was not the molting she periodically endured since her teenage years, unpredictable seasons when her iridescent scales flaked away without provocation, exposing glistening arcs of scaffolding like the complicated branches of a tree in November, or the naked antlers of a deer. Now, only small constellations of itchy white bumps marked where her wing bones had once pierced her skin. It seemed to Brittany that, only hours before this moment, she'd been soaring through moon-streaked skies, untouched by gravity, enjoying the company of those few others who also possessed the gift of flight. But here she was, grounded, with teeth more suited for tearing open packets of fruit snacks than tearing flesh from bone, and with skin like a deflated balloon, and with limbs that surged with strength she'd never known. Her eyes were brilliant, focused, and clear. In the dark bathroom, light stabbed like a knife through the gap beneath the floor. Later that morning, at the breakfast table, she met her daughters again, along with a thumb-shaped man slumping into the fourth decade of his life. His method for chewing waffles produced the sound of ripe fruit being smashed under the soles of wet and heavy boots. Brittany was worried for these people. She knew them better than she knew herself, and they were strangers. She felt trapped by their stares. She missed them even while they sat with her at the table. At work, she slinked discreetly into her cubicle, dreading her colleagues' prying questions. But they were unaffected by the changes she'd undergone. And, as the day went on, she began to suspect that their mundane fears and preoccupations, which she once found inscrutable, had suddenly become her own. That evening, she stood on the sidewalk in front of her house. The descending night transformed the windows into bright cards scattered across a table, into sheets of translucent fabric illuminated from behind. Or, as Brittany realized after a long while, into shimmering, fleeting glimpses of a vast sea beyond. The air was crisp and new-smelling, and clouds hurried past the moon, but the sky's familial pull wasn't enough to break her bond with the ground. She walked up the stoop and dropped a trembling hand on the doorknob and made the choice to go inside.